Remain seated until we come to a complete stop. Keep your arms and legs together inside the car, no eating or smoking. Our trip around Greenfield Village will take about 30 minutes. Greenfield Village is divided into 5 historic districts. The Henry Ford Model T district is first on the left. That's where you can enjoy a ride on one of those authentic Model Ts through the interior of Greenfield. Visit Henry Ford's birthplace. This is the White Farmhouse, built in 1861. He was born there in 1863. He moved it here in 1944 from 3 1/4 miles away. We're approaching Main Street District, where you can visit the Wright Brothers home, Wright Brothers Cycle Shop. They're both authentic buildings coming to us from Dayton, Ohio. They were built in the 1870s. Learn about the beginning of aviation there. Visit Mrs. Cohen's Millinery Shop from downtown Detroit, built in 1880. It's on Main Street along with the H.J. Heinz Building, built in 1854 in Sharpsburg, Pennsylvania. And Sir John Bennett's Wheat Shop coming to us from London, England. Right behind the Ford Motor Company. Edison Networks is the next historic district. Thomas Edison is credited with 1,093 U.S. patents, many more from Germany, France, and England. This is the restructured Menlo Park Laboratory from West Orange, New Jersey. On the village green is the Logan County Courthouse where Abraham Lincoln practiced law. It was built in 1840 in Lincoln, Illinois. In the gold building is Sarah Jordan's boarding house. Many of the unmarried men who worked for Edison at the laboratory lived there. It's one of the first buildings in the United States wired for electricity. Right next to Sarah Jordan is Edison's Fort Myers, Florida laboratory. And right around the corner from him is Luther Burbank from Santa Rosa, California. The 1832 Ackley Covered Bridge comes to us from southwest Pennsylvania over the Wheeling Creek. This is the entranceway in the porches and parlors that can visit historic homes such as Noah Webster's 1823 home from New Haven, Connecticut, Stephen Foster's home, Robert Frost from Ann Arbor, Michigan, built in 1830, the Maddox Farmhouse, the Hermitage Slave Quarters, McGuffey Reader cabin, and right across the pond is the Edison homestead where Edison's great-grandparents lived in Vienna, Ontario, Canada. Mrs. Fisher's Southern Cooking Restaurant is right on the left-hand side. Very good barbecue there. Up the sidewalk to the right, the sandstone buildings, that's the Cotswold Cottage, built in 1619 in Chatsworth, Gloucestershire County, England. We'll be stopping here for our first of the 2 stops. This is Susquehanna Station. If you choose to get off here and walk around this far into Greenfield Village, we'll be back in 30 minutes. Actually, we'll be back in 15 minutes because we're running 2 trains today. So you're always within 15 minutes of getting back on the train. Do remain seated till we get the whistle from the engineer. Then you can get up and exit to the left. Inside the car. No eating, no smoking. We're on our way to Smith's Creek Depot. That's at the far north end of Greenfield Village. It's at the top of the mountain. This white building here is the Susquehanna Plantation, coming to us from St. Mary's, County, Maryland, on the Patuxent River. It was built in 1834. It was 700 acres of tobacco, wheat, and corn. The rust-colored building is the oldest American-made building in Greenfield Village, dating to the mid-1600s. The Clinton House, or Mr. and Mrs. Clinton, raised 7 children in South Sudbury, Massachusetts. The windmills, the Ferris windmill, considered the oldest in the United States, built in 1640, was a gift to Henry Ford by his National Dealer Association in 1936. And the gray building is the Daggett Farmhouse, built in 1754 from Andover, Connecticut. Is the 1897 Baldwin steam locomotive. Used by by Henry Ford for personal use in the 1920s. It was in our roundhouse for over 10 years, being worked on, refurbished, put back into service on Henry Ford's 150th birthday about 3 years ago. It's been dormant for 83 years. The Henry Ford is a non-profit independent educational institution that is not affiliated with the Ford Motor Company or the Ford Foundation. And that 8-foot serpentine wall on the right side, built in 1952, Ford Motor Test Track. There's an open field on the right side with the red barn out there. It's a grazing field for our wonderful Percheron draft horses, the gentle giants that do a lot of work throughout Greenfield Village, pulling the wagons and working the barn. They get their legs off the hard surfaces of Greenfield Village for 3 or 4 days, back on the terra firma, relaxing, before they're put back into service throughout the village. The area we're traversing now is a wetland and wildlife reserve. There are some white-tailed deer, some fox and coyote back here, various birds such as blue herons, white egrets, and red-tailed. There are a number of special demonstrations and presentations today and tomorrow, such as on Walnut Grove, which is the activity field on the left, where the Canadian Model T assembly team will be dismantling and assembling a Model T within minutes. They're there till 3 o'clock today. And also at Walnut Grove, the same place, competition and early motoring skills till 4 o'clock. And then which is happening all day long is the National Park Service Centennial with special displays and vehicles behind the Wright Brothers home, the Wright Brothers Cycle Shop. This large yellow complex is the Henry Ford Academy. It's a charter high school. Over 525 students attend. They're selected via a lottery system in Wayne County, Michigan. The graduation rate exceeding 95%. The curriculum focuses on math, science, and technology. The upperclassmen, 11th to 12th graders, have classrooms out here in the village. They're in the Pullman cars on the left. 9th and 10th graders are in our indoor museum. Henry Ford was dedicated to the children and dedicated Greenfield Village to children learning. He wanted to convey a message and inspire them of the American genius, as he called it. He wanted them to touch and feel history and not necessarily read it out. One of the original buildings here in Greenfield. since an 1830 sit-down with people serving you material clothing. We're approaching Smith's Creek Depot. This is the gateway to Railroad Junction, where you can visit the roundhouse, turn the turntable, and visit Liberty Craftworks store, King's Silk Mill, and we're in walking distance of the 1913 Herschel Spillman Carousel, the playground, Edison Illuminating, and of course Smith's Creek Depot. Please remain seated till we get the whistle from the engineer that declares that we can get up and exit on the left. We'll be here for a short 4 minutes before we depart again for the main gate while you're still on the station.
Welcome aboard the Ride to Railroad. For the safety of our younger riders, we ask that the adults with them place themselves on the outside of the road. If that's not practical, please make sure that they're held or easily within your reach. And for your safety, ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated for the duration of our train ride today. Please keep all arms, legs, hands, and feet inside the rail car at all times. And please refrain from eating, drinking, or smoking aboard the Ride to Railroad. And as we continue on now through our Railroad Junction District, we're now passing the historic Smith's Creek Depot, originally built in 1858 in Smith's Creek, Michigan, which is about 8.5 miles southwest of Port Huron. And where the boy Thomas Edison worked for the Grand Trunk Railroad, selling fruits and newspapers along the way from Port Huron to Detroit and back again. If you get a chance, stop in and find out how the station agent and his family lived and worked on the railroad all the livelong day. And we're now entering the heart of our Railroad Junction District. Just up ahead is our Detroit, Toledo, and Milwaukee Roundhouse, originally built in 1884 in Marshall, Michigan. It was recreated here at Greenfield in the year 2000. It's where we do all the repairs and all the maintenance on our 3 old flyer steam engines. Stop in, get a bird's eye view of what's going on in the roundhouse, and take a chance at turning our 42-ton manual turntable on our DTM roundhouse. Coming up next is our Liberty Craftworks District, where you'll find our artisans and craftsmen creating beautiful objects in glass and pottery, tin and weaving. All the shops are open, I believe. If you get a chance, stop in and see what they're doing, or maybe stop by the Liberty Craftworks store and take home a few. comes to a complete stop, the engineer toots the whistle. That tells you the air brake is set. I'll then give you the go-ahead to exit the train on the right only. Please remain seated till the train comes to a complete stop.